So this wasn't in my plans when I wanted to do an episode for this week, but yeah. So in between the previous week, our country lost somebody. Some might call him a legend. Some might call him a traitor. He has been called many names. He has a lot of names, but it's crazy. So, welcome to the Cordial Podcast. I nearly forgot to introduce the episode, but here we are. But it's because, of course, this is really, I didn't think I will ever do an episode like this, but it looks like I am doing it because it's quite literally kidogo overwhelming because so yes, I'm actually recording on a Monday because I really wanted all that to end fast before recording, because if I recorded on in between the week, I know I would have done like another second part of it, but I'd rather have done now everything culminating together. So yeah, we lost Raila Amolo Odinga, and to be honest, at first I knew the memes and the jokes would be crazy once the news was broken. And that morning, I think I just left work and I came home, and the first notification I get out of Twitter was a meme of Raila kicking the bucket, and I was like, wow, okay, this is going to be a long day, especially in Kenya, because the memes were going to, like you always know, such events bring out the craziness of Kenyans. And true to it, that particular day on Wednesday was filled with memes and also people mourning. And so also there were a bit of, wrangles in between, because some people were like, guys should actually respect him and not create jokes as they were doing and whatnot and everything. People were really doing a lot. Like, you wouldn't even know what exactly was happening because you were in it completely. 1 minute it's a somber mood, and the other one is just fun and chaotic memes and posts. So Wednesday was mostly filled with chaos from the side of joking. But something funny that I noticed is later on, like as everything turned out, when the body was gotten from India where he died, and when he was coming, the mood started to change, I think, across the country, whereby now even the jokes now subsided, and people really now were watching on how this whole story was progressing day by day. And I think it hit a lot of Kenyans that this is actually a great statesman that has died, is when his body was brought back that specific morning, and Kenyans flocked the airport. Like, even for me who is miles away, I was like, bro, that's crazy, because you had motorcycles inside runways. Because in my head, I was like, bro, where did they even pass for them to be that close to? Oh my God, it was crazy. I think, and I think it will be one of those moments where we are witnessing things that were happening, and I don't think they will ever happen again. To be honest, I don't think they will ever happen again, because that amount of, I don't know what to call it, but that amount of feeling, of making people actually come and see you, even in death, bro, that's a mighty move. That's a really mighty move. I don't know what exactly was behind all that, because even in the end, when the family was keeping on requesting the Kenyans to be in peace, to handle all these things in a really calm manner. They just couldn't, because even when people were told that his wishes were to be buried in 72 hours, and the government had to do a state funeral, everything was still in bits chaotic because of the amount of people who turned out. From his body arriving and them going with his body from the airport, they wanted to walk with the body to Parliament. And in Parliament, there were still people waiting for his body for viewing in Parliament, and it was too much. Nobody could actually calm these crowds. Nobody could come. And to me, that was a crazy aspect of it. Like, nobody could calm them. Not only for the person who is inside the casket. And that, to me, that amount of power is crazy, bro. It is really crazy. I couldn't even imagine to have that amount of influence on people. It is too big, man. It is too big for you to actually sit in your house and you try to think on how this guy was moving and how he was making decisions and how he could do things. And now he's dead, and I think people actually realized that this man was really a big influence. They had to even stop, the plans that they had made for people to view his body in Parliament, and they switched it to Kasarani. And still, it was still crazy. And you still got the government shooting people and killing people, and no one acknowledges that there were lives lost just because they wanted to view. Oh my God. That's another story. But it was a really crazy 72 hours. Let me just say that. It was a really crazy 72 hours. And you could see how people were really behaving. Even for me, I found it really, really funny, but in a like, I don't know, should I say cute way, on how even Kenya Airways handled everything when they released the video of the communication through the pilot to the what do you call it, to the tower, communication tower in JKIA, and they released such videos, even of the captain speaking, another captain doing another flight to somewhere else in the world, also sang, and it was really, for me if you sit down and you analyze all those days, you could actually see people now getting into that mood of mourning. Because trust you me, from the chaotic Wednesday where everything was just seeming funny, now everyone was catching feelings, because it was actually, it really got to people that we have actually lost somebody who had a big influence. And to be frankly honest, I don't think we'll ever find somebody who's like that, especially in Kenya. I don't think anyone will ever hold that kind of power. And I think where the country is headed right now, where nobody knows who can influence such kind of crowds, I don't know what will happen. It will be a really crazy next decades, and especially these first 2 years, because we are headed to another general election. And you could even see from the funeral itself, from the speeches people were making, there were people who really, you could see from how they're talking and how they're doing things, bro, they were literally, it's like they were begging. Oh my God, it was really embarrassing at some point, because they were literally begging to be left in their positions, like to still be in government. They really wanted, because they knew the person who was lying in the casket was the one keeping them I don't want to say alive, but keeping them alive in politics or alive in their earnings, because there were people who got posts. And it's crazy how politics works. Even for me, I was like, why did we let this one man control this much. And you could see like old people who are 40 plus years begging and oh my God. To me, it was embarrassing, but I actually saw it. Like I could actually feel them because they were like, we were so used to doing this because this guy was there, like a watchtower watching us and all these things. But now he's gone, so we don't know who will look after us. And there will be division and it will be crazy. The next few months and years will be crazy because now everyone will start. It's like the scramble and partition of Africa. Now this will be the scramble and partition of that influence that this guy had over all these guys. So it's crazy. Personally, I won't lie. To me, I don't know what death is, but especially from the other side of the person who's dead, you do not know where you're headed to. You do not know. I can tell you in my faith that I trust and believe that wherever I'll go to, I'll be in peace. But from that side, you don't know where people go. You do not know. You do not know how that other life is. But from our end, the people who are still left living, you could see every single thing of how people were reacting to it. You could see it. It's crazy. For me, I found the jokes funny because I knew it would come. Some were really funny. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Kenyans are always crazy when it comes to such matters because this was a person who had a big influence. And in the recent years, especially in 2024, where there was a big, protest and everyone could see, even in the world, he literally did not stand to the level he put himself in over decades. The one person people expected to stand firm on his side, on what he believes in, on the principles he kept on talking about, he did not do it at the end, because that was really one of the ending lifetime actions of him. And he did not stand. And we were really, personally, I was shocked. I was like, is this guy actually siding with the current government right now? It's crazy. It's crazy because you're losing your legacy through supporting this murderous government. And it's crazy how lifetime moves, where you live your whole life fighting for all these things, the good things and everything, and then just when your lifetime is about to become a mega legacy, then you tarnish it. And it's crazy. So I think from the jokes, you could see from the jokes, it's like people who were really fed up. It's not like they didn't understand or know who this man was or what the things they did, but it was like, no, at the end, you gave up on whatever you believed in. You gave up on everything that you were preaching about for all those years. You gave up. And it was a really big disappointment. A really big disappointment. We have a really long way to go. We have a really long way to go. I don't know if we'll ever get out of the trenches as Kenya, because the current government or regime is a really crazy one. And we put them there. I think we have to just accept that. We put them there. We put them there. And it is a culmination of all the system has been created to do. Like killing, corruption, all these things you can think of, the vices that are being doing. It is really a culmination of who we are as a Kenyan country. It is really who we are, because if you look at what this regime has been doing and how they are moving, it is literally how we move in the streets day to the day in our lives. Kenyans are always looking to up each other. It's like we are all conmen just waiting to get our chance and eat. And it's crazy. So these guys have gotten their chance. and they did what they did. They've been doing what they're doing. And I think last year in 2024 is when it really hit people that we are actually drowning as a country. We are drowning in all the actions that we do. And to come out of it, it will have to start with us. And I think even when the first Mandamano failed, when people occupied parliament but went home, I think from there, I think what we should have done is try and change things from the grassroots levels, whereby people would now change on what they're doing. Because right now, I can tell you, in the upcoming elections, I don't see much change if people don't try and change their mindset and views on things. You cannot. I don't see the big change coming. I really don't see it, because right now you can, like, people are supposed to get registered for voting, especially the young generation, even the younger people than me, because I will call myself part of the young generation, but there are younger guys than me who actually seem like they are not interested, or they just don't know what is going on or what they're supposed to do. Like, we have a young generation that's actually filled up with a lot of information about the world and not their own country. That I think I have experienced with a lot of them. They're really closed off with understanding where we need to move as a country, and everyone is just looking outside. You know, what is happening in Europe, what is happening in the US, what is happening in Dubai and all these big countries and what they're doing. So everyone is looking to actually get out of the country or not be involved with country matters. And again, we are drowning, man. We're really drowning. And it's crazy. Like, people are not registering to go get their votes. Because, personally, if you ask me, I would prefer getting this regime out through Mandamano. That one, I don't think... like, I understand to some aspect it's crazy, and we are going to lose lives because we've lost them already, and we're still losing them. But I think that's the only way. But Kenyans cannot unite. There's always divisions. Even when Mandamano is happening, there's always divisions. There are people who are like, no, we shouldn't do this. Oh, we shouldn't do that. We should. There's a division until... And it's crazy. It's like Kenya started all this movement of crazy and crazy Mandamanos and all these things. And other countries did the same with their countries, and you could see success. And we're like, why did Kenya not get there? Why? Because there's a really big thing that actually is stopping us from that. And I think it's the division. Like, we're still tribalistic, however much we call ourselves leaderless and whatever. People are still tribal in between. Every conversation that is happening is still tribal to some extent. You just have to mention your tribe. And I think that division of, like, having 42 tribes, however much it looks like we are rich in ethnicity and all these things, I don't think at this point it is helping us. Because instead of people actually appreciating each and everyone's culture, it's become like, which is the greatest culture? It's like there's an ingrown fighting that has been created in us, whereby we just have to keep on arguing about who's the best, who does this the best, who's the worst, or what kind of people are the best. It's a lot of talk, man. That is not helping at all. Not helping. I personally don't know. I do not know where we are headed as a country. It's going to be crazy, because people for years have been saying, like, the death of Raila would bring a lot of confusion in the country. And I'm waiting to see, because even when how that funeral ended yesterday, with people storming in the compound and just wanting to go to the grave, I think that should show that these are people who are actually going to cause a lot of division and do a lot of damage to the country if it comes down to now choosing who to align with. It's crazy that we have to have people leading communities at this point, because the sooner we move away from having community leaders, the sooner we'll achieve what we need. So it's really a crazy turnaround of events. Even for the 72 hours of his will to get buried in 72 hours, I think it was, hopefully it was his will, but if it's not, then it's also crazy, because the system, you just never know what these guys are planning. But if it was in his will, then I think he really knew what will happen, because I don't think these people would have really have like, this country would have gone in a really funny way for like a month or even more. You just never know. Just from the short 72 hours we've seen of things happening, the government trying to calm people down, it just couldn't happen. Oh my God. But yeah, such is life. So it's crazy. But the man is gone, and we have to move as a country. We have to move on. So it will be really it will be a really interesting thing to look at the next days as they unfold, and what is going to happen, especially in the politics aspects of my country. But yeah, we'll get to see that. So this has been Kang'ong'oi, your host, and I've just shared a bit of my views on the matter. I think this is also a conversation that can last for long. But yeah, rest in peace, Baba, Jakom. I've heard of names I didn't even know, man. It's like, it was really nice learning about the culture, the Luo culture. Everything that has been happening in the 72 hours has just been magnificent. Appreciating how they handle things in their culture. There are things that came out actually that were really beautiful. To learn about cultures is really beautiful, and to appreciate them. But as always, there are Kenyans who are just like, no, they shouldn't do this. Oh, Kenyans. I hate such kind of people. But yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Wow. What a legacy, man. What a way to end your life. What a way to live your life. The children, the wife, oh my God. Strong tower. So that has been it. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. See you on the next one. It has been me, your host, of course, Kang'ong'oi, and I am signing out.